All right, so good afternoon, and everyone. Welcome to this class. So we have something to do, a very quick exercise. So I want you to please go to your group, your winning Premier Boards group, and tag one person. Tag one person that you think is not yet on this call. Please, I will need you to do this. Please, let's do this together. Go to your winning Premier Boards group and tag one person, please. So because we need more people to join the class today, today's session, I can promise you will be a very insightful one, and it's something very relative for evolution of technology and how technology has been influencing some decisions in the workplace. So I think nobody should miss this. So let's go to our group. Okay, I think someone is typing already. So you to go to your group, tag one person, please. Let's do that quickly. Thank you. Yes, thank you. We are doing well. Let's continue. Let's continue. We are now 13 and we are still going to 40. We are still going to 50. So I think for those of you that you've tagged someone before, if you still think you need to tag someone again, you can please do it again. But we need majority of our classmates to be on this call. This call is very important for everybody to join. Please, let's continue. Please go to the group, tag someone to join the class, tag someone to join the class. Good afternoon, Mr. Dayo, and welcome to today's class. So I want more participants to join the course so we can start. So. All right, so thank you so much, everyone. We're going to start irrespective because we need to understand that we have to take all of these opportunities to be important, vital for our good. So I expect that for such a discussion like this, we should have at least maybe 30, 40 participants on the call. But it happens that we don't even have enough for today. So, but anyway, we're going to start that way, and or we should just give 1 minute chance to some people to join us. All right, so everybody, welcome to today's session once again. And today we have someone that had been a very vital part of the. Hello, please, can you hear me? Oh, all right. So thank you so much. So today we have in our midst someone that has been a very um, crucial and vital part of this project from day one. So aside Mr. Dayo being our facilitator, he has been one of the people that have been making this program smooth free and itch free and even filled with a lot of life-changing content. So permit me to introduce our facilitator for today, Mr. Isaumi Abel Dayo. He's a dynamic cybersecurity and information security professional with expertise spanning web security, incident response, risk assessment, and digital innovation. He specializes in designing and implementing security frameworks and automated workflows that deliver measurable improvements across organizational efficiency and risk management. Leveraging on technical tools and design thinking approaches, Mr. Dayo combines cybersecurity expertise with UI/UX capabilities to drive secure technology adoption and strengthen digital systems across diverse organizational environments. With a proven track record, his implementations has improved operational efficiency by 30% and reduced organizational security risks by 20%, delivering tangible and lasting impact across every environment as one thing. Ladies and gentlemen, permit me to introduce to you our first speaker today, Mr. Isauni Ebe. I think you should react with that emoji of applaud. All right, it seems to be like it's only Gabriel that could hear me. Okay, okay, now my mind is at peace. All right, so
All
before
right.
we start this session, Mr. Rao, please, I quickly want to share the pre-test link with you. So when I share the pre-test link, you can feel it while the session is going on, but make sure you don't miss it because it definitely stands as your attendance.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Can I go on now, sir, Mr. Adibola?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You have the floor now.
All right. Thank you very much. I want to appreciate the management and the entire team of the WeCare for this opportunity. It has been a wonderful ride from the very beginning to this very point. And I'm honored to be part of the facilitators and to even facilitate this session. Mr. Jibola, please, can you enable me as a co-host so I can share my screen? Thank you. So, yeah, guys, thank you very much for this opportunity once again. All right, Mr. Jibola, please, I'm joining with two devices, so you can also make the other device uh, co-host so that I can share my screen properly with the other device. Thank you, sir. All right, thank you. So, guys, just like Mr. Ajibola has mentioned, I am a tech professional, and today we are going to look on we are going to look at something that is very very important, something that has come to stay, and is something that we can't do without at this point. Uh, it's now like HIV, or should I say malaria, that it's everywhere. You can't do without. Anywhere you go, you see technology, you see innovation, you see AI, and is now integrated into workforce. You will agree with me that the only reason, or one of the reasons why you are in school, is to get a better life, and you are doing that, by doing that, the only way you can get a better life is by making money. And you want to get into the workforce, you want to go and work, work for a corporation, work for big companies and all of that, and then make money and live a very decent and comfortable life. And it's quite unfortunate, or very fortunate, that the adoption of technology in the workforce is growing. Sometime last year, I saw a statistics that you know CEOs are now adopting the use of AI in companies, and as at last year, the statistics was about 63%. Now, a lot of CEOs are saying they prefer to hire individuals with AI skills and with no relevant skills on what they are being hired to do, than to hire somebody who has, is very qualified for the role and don't have AI skills. Because with AI, you can achieve a lot, even if you don't have a lot of experience in that particular role. So then let's just move ahead. Now the digital landscape is Hello guys, can you hear me?
Yes, we can
Yes,
hear
we
you.
can hear you,
Seems
sir.
like the
All
network
right,
of the other
sorry,
device.
my network. All right, yeah, my network glitched for a minute, and that's why. So just like I said, 39%, of the skills that you have currently is going to be outdated, in 5 years or less. The skills that you currently use at work. 5 years ago, nobody was talking about AI in workplace. Nobody was talking about some of these digital tools in workplace. But today you need those tools, to carry out your daily tasks in whatever organization you are working at. So it is now on technology has placed us on a very fast lane, such that the lifespan of the skills that you have now is becoming shorter. Before now, if you know how to operate computer basic operations, you are considered tech savvy. But now you are not even considered anything close to being tech savvy. You must have AI skills, you must know how to use some of these digital tools to be considered someone who is tech savvy and all of that. Now, the CEO of NVIDIA said something very, very important. He said that AI will not replace you, but people who know how to use AI will replace you. Now, as the widespread as the workforce is adopting the use of AI, CEOs, just like I mentioned, CEOs are adopting it massively, and people who don't know how to use technology are being, sent away from their jobs, and people who know how to use technology are taking over the jobs right now. Now, it is important that we learn how to use these tools. Now, on this session, I'm not coming to, to begin to teach us how to use this particular tool, but it's just to open our minds and, open our hearts to a lot of things. Now, the world is shifting from, doing things manually now to become managers of AI agents. Now, I always like to give this illustration of how AI is, or how important AI is. Now, all right, sorry, my network is just acting up this evening. All right, so like I was saying, I like to give an illustration, or using carpenters, most importantly, or electrician as instance when talking about AI, or when talking about these digital tools. Now, years ago, we always know carpenters to use nails and hammers, to do their work, to maybe couple a chair, or couple a table, or whatsoever item that they are trying to couple. Then technology came, and then they started using these electric machines where they just, drill screwdrivers into the woods and then use it to make their furnitures and all of that. Today, if you want to give a contract, let's say for a table, you want to make a table and you have two carpenters before you, and you have one who uses nail and hammer, and you have another one who uses the drill machine and screwdriver. Who would you rather give the job to? All right. So let me quickly hear our response in the chat box, or somebody can just unmute and then quickly respond. So who would you give the job to? Somebody who uses a carpenter who uses nail and hammer, or a carpenter who uses the screw and drill machine? Yes.
Carpenter, good evening, sir.
Yes, good evening, sir.
Yes, sir, I'm Ibrahim Akilu. I will give it to the modern carpenter who uses the screw, not the one that used the nail and hammer, because we are going with modernization.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, somebody said, Abdullahi Muhammad said, the one with advanced tools. So that is exactly what AI does. AI is a tool that makes your work faster, makes your work neater, if you know how to use it. Now, you would also agree with me that the nail and hammer, when used wrongly, if you are probably hitting the nail and the hammer on the nail, probably into a wood, you can miss the hit and then hit your hand, and that is going to be very, very painful if you do that. Also, which these are some of the risks attached to the job. Also, if you are using the screwdriver and the drilling machine, and while drilling the screw into the wood, you mistakenly drill your hand, that is going to be more painful than the hammer. So what I'm trying to paint is, yes, these are advanced tools, but if you don't use them well, the repercussion is going to be very, very huge. Yes, they are beautiful tools, but you have to learn to use them well. Even if you give the contract to a carpenter to make a table who uses the advanced tool, if he doesn't know how to use it, he's still not going to make a very nice table for you. You probably use the table for a day or two and the table will collapse maybe while you are using it. So as much as these tools are, very important and then very fancy and make our work beautiful and nice, it is also important we learn how to use them properly so that we don't end up endangering ourselves while using these tools. So on another illustration, I like to give about the AI tools is AI is like a knife. All right. It can be used as, a very, very useful tool in the kitchen, for cooking, and it can be used as a weapon. So we have to be careful about how you use it. That's where, ethics come into play and all of that. So now, quickly, I just want to also ask, what is one digital tool that we use daily? You can just, just give me your answers in the chat box, and I'm looking at it. Yes, yeah, I see. Response from my previous question. Yes, of course. Yeah, when you miss the target. Yeah, thank you very much. The carpenter who uses screw. So now, what is one tool that you use daily? Any digital tool. Any digital tool that.
Oh, hello everyone. Seems like we've lost Mr. Dio. So let's hold on first. I don't know what the network has in plan for us today. Let's hold on. All right, so while we wait, please, if you are here to fill your pre-test, please go and fill your pre-test now. Please, we don't have much time to waste. Please fill your pre-test because that's probably going to serve as your attendance and to avoid going back and forth. Please go and fill your pre-test. So,
All right, guys.
okay, welcome back,
So
Mr.
I
Dada.
apologize for the network. Yeah, hello guys. Can we go on? All right. Sorry for the break in transmission. My network is just being messy this evening. So, I was asking earlier for us to, name one digital tool that we use daily, and also name one tool that we fear to use that, or that we know is going to replace our jobs. So what tool do you use daily, which is the first one, and what tool do you fear will replace your job? So maybe you work as an analyst, a project manager, whatsoever, and then you fear that one tool is going to ChatGPT. Okay. Uh, I'm assuming you are saying this is one tool that you use daily. ChatGPT. How many of us use ChatGPT daily? You can just signify by using an emoji. Just React, ChatGPT, Gemini. Um, okay. All right. Yeah, Sumaya is saying AI. So, but I would like to know which of the AI, there are a lot of them out there. So maybe being specific, Claude. Okay. Um, okay, Kabir is saying he doubts if there is a tool that can replace his work completely. Yeah, so you use Cloud AI, yeah, and then you doubt, yeah. So if your job has to do with a lot of manual, um, okay, Google Docs, that's one thing you use daily, yeah, that's nice. All right, thank you guys. So um, you know, there are a lot of tools out there and I'm going to be mentioning some. Okay, Sumaya, you use Canva. That's nice. Or I don't know if that's one tool that you are afraid of. So, but I guess that is what you use daily. All right, guys. So moving on, let's talk about some of these tools and how we can use them or how useful it can be for our jobs and all of that. Now, let's look at the collaboration ecosystem. Now, in the workforce or in any workplace you find yourself, one thing that managers are always trying to do is to ensure that there is a collaboration between every team member. Ensure that every team member, is engaged in all that is happening within the office space, within the team and all of that. And there are a lot of tools out there that big companies, a lot of corporations, even startup are using on a daily basis to manage their work and to collaborate, especially, in organizations that operate remotely. Remote job few years ago was remote job is not something people talk about, initially or like few years ago. But today, remote job is now, something that is now everywhere, and everybody uh, wants to work remotely because of the comfort that it comes with and all of that. So there are some tools that you have to master, especially for people who want to work remotely. Now, looking at project management, these are tools that are used to organize workflows and all of that. And then one of them is Asana. We have Asana, we have Trello. These are some of the tools that are used for project management. This list is limitless. There are more tools, but I'm just giving us some examples, and these are some of the popular tools you find out there. And when you come to communication tools, these are more like a professional communication platforms, not like WhatsApp, which is for social use and all of that. But these are more professional platforms like Slack, Google Chats, Microsoft Teams, and the likes. And then, when you come to documentation, these are very, very important tools that you can use to document, file all your documents, process your documents, and do a lot. You have tools like the Google Workspace, which I'll also talk about later. And then we have the Microsoft 365, the Microsoft Loop, and all of that, which we are also going to look at some. Now, looking at one example of the project management tool, let's look at Asana. Now, this is like like a sneak peek of how Asana looks like. Now, it can be used to manage all of your tasks, the projects in the company. You have, you can see everybody's schedule. You can see how every team member is working with one another. You can see all the tasks across every team member, across, the entire team. You can see some of the tasks that are overdue. You can see some of the tasks that have been completed. You can see the progress you are making and all of that. Even personally, you can use this tool to manage your task. Not necessarily within an organization. You can use this to manage your tasks personally. And it's going to help you to track, your time and to manage your time and all of that. So this is Asana. Asana is a cloud-based work management platform. It's cloud-based, meaning it's something you can access from your browser and you can access anywhere. You don't need to install the app to have this. And it is designed to help team organize and track, just their tasks, their projects, their workflows in real time, meaning immediately you update this thing, everybody in the team can see it. Now, some of the very useful stuff is what I've mentioned: project management, task management, team collaboration, workflow automation. Now, there are some little processes that you tend to repeat every day. Asana can help you automate it such that you don't need to repeat that task every day. You have goal tracking and reporting. You can easily prepare your reports, have your report, and then even attach some of these graphs and all of that to your report. Now, moving forward, let's look at another tool, which is now a communication tool, which is Slack. Slack is also cloud-based and is an AI-powered team communication and collaboration platform. It is designed to replace internal emails. Now, I mentioned WhatsApp. WhatsApp is more social, and all of that. But this is a more professional communication platform. This was built to replace internal emails where team members don't need to be sending, emails and all of that. The HR doesn't need to start sending emails to every team member. HR want to make an announcement. HR can quickly make an announcement and every team member is going to see, all of that. So this is why Slack was built, to replace internal email system. Instant messaging, is not something that's where you send a message and then the person gets to see it in 15 minutes time. No, this is instant messaging, just like WhatsApp. And then you can also use it to share files. So they are used for team communication. It is used for project management. And then you can integrate your other applications into it, like the Google Workspace, your Google Drive can be integrated here, such that it is easy for you to navigate your files. Even your calendar can be integrated, and some other platforms can also be integrated, so you can easily access them from Slack. It can also be used for workflow automation, just like Asana, and then you can also use it for external collaboration. You need to collaborate with other platforms and the likes. You can also use that. So moving on to the last part, which is another example of the documentation ecosystem we have, is Google Workspace. Now, Google have a lot of they're out there, very accessible and free that we don't even know about. Now, even though some of their tools are out of date, or let me not say out of date, have gotten to their end of life, which means they've commissioned some of their tools. But what they did was to create another tool that supersedes those ones. All right, so now we have like the App Engine. App Engine is for developers, is a serverless platform as a service where developers can use it, to host their website or their mobile apps. And, while they are building and all of that, is a serverless platform as a service, and that's for developers. Then we have the Slide, the Google Slide, which is what I'm even using to present my slide right now. It's a PowerPoint presentation app designed by Google, and that is free to use and can be accessed remotely. Now, one of the advantage of these platforms or all these tools that I'm mentioning is that they are cloud-based, meaning you don't need to install an application on your computer to access them. You can access them anywhere at any time. All right, you can access them from anywhere. You can just go to a cyber cafe and you can access your documents instantly once you log into your platform. So that is one very, very important features that these tools comes with. Now, just like I mentioned, the Google Slide is for presentation, and then we have the Hangout. The Hangout has been decommissioned, and they now design the Google Chat, which is now more advanced than the Hangout. Then we have the Translate. The Translate is a translator app, where you can translate from one language to another. And then we have the Map, which is one very, very popular tool, is a location finder. And then we have YouTube, which is a content library that is also very, very popular. Then we have the sites, Google Sites. Now, Google Sites is a website generation tool. You want to build a very simple website for your business, for your company, or for an organization, you can use Google Sites to quickly build a very simple website, and you can host that. So that is a very, very nice platform. Then we have the Google News, which is a news service. You want to customize the kind of news that you want to be getting online. You can go to Google News and you customize, the kind of news that you want to be reading, and it's going to get that for you. All right, this is a very, very important tool that people can use to get information online and all of that. Then we have the Sheets, Google Sheets, which is an Excel processing app. It's also cloud-based, and I use that every day for my work. That's what we use in our organization, and that can be also accessed remotely. So it's not just enough for you to know how to use Microsoft Excel. You should also know how to use Google Sheets. It's very, very similar and very, very easy to use. If you know how to use Microsoft Excel, you'll be able to also use Google Sheet, because it has the same features, and gives you all the features all the functionalities that you have on Microsoft Excel. Then we have the Google Drive, which is also storage and storage drive, or a storage app where you can dump all your files and documents and all of that. Then we have the Blogger. The Blogger is a blog generating site. You can use it to generate, to create, and to manage your blogs. If you want to create a blog where you want to be posting content and all of that, you can use Google Blogger to do that. Chrome, of course, is very popular. It's a web browser. Then we have the Calendar, which is a task management and scheduling app. Very important. Oftentimes we look down on Google Calendar. The only thing that some of us use Google Calendar to do is to check dates. But you don't know that Calendar is a very, very powerful tool if you know how to use it. So you can use the Calendar app, Google Calendar app, to manage your task and to schedule for events, for meetings and all of that. Is very, very powerful if you know how to use it, and it's very simple. You can go on YouTube, get a lot of videos on how to use the Google Calendar app. Now, Google Docs is also a document processing platform, just like your Microsoft Word. And then Photos, obviously, is a picture library. Then we have the Google Ads for advertisements. And then we have Google AdSense, where you can use it to create advertisement and all of that. Google Plus has been decommissioned. And then we have the Trends. Now, Trend is also very important for people who are into social media management, into content creation, and all of that. You can use Google Trend to actually carry out research on what people are searching for. That is what you can use to know what is actually going on the internet. What are the questions that people are asking on the internet? You can use that to do a lot of research. Then the Google Play Store, obviously our apps are there. We'll download our apps. Then the Gmail is for email services. Classroom is a virtual classroom site where you can hold, your virtual lessons and all of that. Then the Search is a Google search engine. And then Keep, very, very important. Google Keep is a note-taking app. It's a note-taking app that I use a lot. It's also cloud-based. You can access it directly from your email, and you can also, install the app on your mobile phone where you can use it to take notes. Is very, very important. Now, I used to be someone who, downplays the power of writing notes, but I learned, the hard way that when you write, it's easier for you to remember when you write them down. So whatever you have, be it task, your plans, whatever it is, you can write it down. And Google Keep is, very, very important and can help you keep your notes and even synchronize across your multiple devices, and you don't get to lose your notes even when your phone gets missing or whatsoever. Your notes are safe with Google Keep. Now, moving forward, one very important thing that we have to know is the one version rule. Now, for most of us who are used to using the Microsoft Word, you are working in a document, and then maybe you send the document to your team member or a colleague or somebody, and the person probably makes an input on the document and then send it back to you. You now have to rename it because you now have version 1, you now have version 2, or maybe you now have this version. Maybe your document is, for instance, notes. You can now have notes, you now have 1 attached to it, or you now have version 1, you now have this version, you now have that version, and all of that. But using some of these cloud-based tools help us to use, just reduce the stress of having different files, with different versions, and sometimes you are even confused and you don't know which file is the most recent one or the updated one. Sometimes you have one document in 3 different places, and you now have to start opening the 3 of them to even know which one is more updated. But when you use, for instance, the Google Docs, you have just one version, even though you can trace back. There's a version history feature where you can trace back to see the old version, but it helps you to have just one document. You don't need to start having a lot of documents or a lot of copies for just one file and all of that. So this is one thing that these tools help us to achieve. It has this real-time synchronization that eliminates, all those file attachments that you have to do. You send to your boss send it back, you send, and all of that. So it is very important that we learn how to use these tools because it's going to make our work easier. Now, task management and visualization. There is a research out there, that proves that when you see things, there's the audio visual plays a lot of role in helping you remember. Something that you see, visually represented helps you, to remember when you want to remember, and then it looks, appealing and helps you process it better. Now, we have a lot of task management tools out there that can help you visualize your task, can help you visualize all your projects. You see how you have achieved, what you have achieved, if you are achieving or not, if you have gone far or if you are left behind, and it helps you to make better decisions. All right, so some of these tools, these task management tools, we have the ClickUp, very, very comprehensive system for tasks, documents, and goals. You can use this personally for your own self in school, at work or whatsoever. You can use this to, set your goals and use it to track your goals. For a lot of us who set our goals, at the beginning of the year, I want to achieve this, I want to achieve that, I want to achieve that. You can use this to set, those goals, and it helps you become even more productive because it helps you visualize these goals, it helps you visualize this task, and it helps you process it much better, know the level you have reached, and if you need to do more work or not. You also have this Todoist app which is best for natural language typing and speed. You also have the Microsoft Planner and Trello. I mentioned Trello earlier, and it has these Kanban style boards for visual organization. So you have those cards, you see them in boards, and then it looks visually appealing, helps you to process information better and all of that. Now, this is an example of Trello. You can see how Trello looks. You see your task, what you are currently doing, what you have done, what you are reviewing, and all of that. It's very, very easy to understand. It's a Kanban style project management tool, and it is used to organize tasks, projects, and workflow into boards, list, and card. So you can change the view to list. You can change the view to cards and all of that. They are used for project management, for collaboration. So you can add team members to join, and then you can see this icon here where you have these user icons and then plus 23. That's to show you that you can add other users and you can visualize your tasks together. You can use for workflow visualization, and you can integrate Google Workspace into it, and also use for automations and all of that. Now, the remote office bridge. Earlier, I was talking about remote job. Few years ago, a lot of us did not know about remote job, but today, remote job, is the order of the day. For a lot of people, even myself, I work remotely, and some of these tools are what I use on a daily basis. And if you are also aiming to work remotely, you also have to learn how to use some of these tools, because you are not going to dodge them in the remote space. Now, you have platforms like the Microsoft Loops that acts as a bridge between applications, allowing real-time component editing across platforms. There are other tools like the Google Workspace, which I use a lot. I use Google Workspace a lot for all my dealings and all of that. Now, boundaries. Let's talk about boundaries. I mentioned earlier that WhatsApp is a social, application, and not very, very professional. So that is why we have dedicated platforms like Slack. We have the Google Chats, which can help you separate, personal your personal life from your professional communications. Like in my organization, we use Google Chats. So whenever you see a notification from Google Chat, this is work related. You don't get to use Google Chat for your normal communications with friends and family. No, that is strictly professional. And whenever you see a notification from there, this is work related, and it helps you separate your personal dealings and from your work dealings. You can shut down your WhatsApp and then just strictly focus on work and then relating with team members via these platforms that I have mentioned, especially if that's the platform that your organization uses. Now, to the big three AI assistants. Earlier, when I asked us to mention, some of the tools that we use on a daily, some people mentioned ChatGPT, some mentioned Claude AI, even though I didn't see anybody mention Gemini, but I know some of us use Gemini. These are currently the biggest 3 AI assistants you can find on the internet. I don't think there is anybody right now on the internet that uses AI that don't use any of these 3 or all of them. I use ChatGPT, I use Claude, I use Gemini, but I use them for different purposes and they have different capabilities. Now, ChatGPT is best for general reasoning. You need to gain knowledge generally about a particular thing, and for complex problem solving, you can use, ChatGPT. ChatGPT, will give you that. Yeah, thank you very much, Kabir. You say use all of them too. Yeah, so that's one very, very good thing about ChatGPT. best for general reason. It has a lot of access to resources and can give you a lot of information. Now, Claude. Claude recently is my favorite. All right. I might talk about it more subsequently. Claude now is my favorite because of the capabilities that it has. It has a lot of features like the co-work features, the connector features, and all of that. And I will advise that you guys, take your time, go to YouTube, find videos, and learn how to use them. Now, it is ideal for massive documents processing. It can process huge documents. Unlike ChatGPT, that it has, even though Claude also has limitations when it comes to usage, if you are using the free version, except if you are paying, then you have the unlimited usage token. But unlike ChatGPT, where um, you have issues processing very large volume of documents. Maybe you have a document that is running into hundreds of pages. You have challenges using that with ChatGPT, but when it gets to Claude, you will not have that challenge because Claude can handle large volume of data. All right, that is one very nice feature about Claude AI. Then going to Gemini. Gemini um, was developed by Google, and so it has a lot of um, features like the connectors where you can link to some of your Google Workspace tools like the Google Drive, the Gmail, and even the calendar. And it's a very, very nice tool. It has a lot of features like the deep research feature, the thinking feature, and you can even change the models and all of that. So it's very, very nice. I will advise that you guys, dig deep and then learn how to use them properly. Now, I must mention that it is very, very important that you know that in as much as you are using these tools, they are not 100% safe. Just like I mentioned earlier, that a carpenter who uses the drilling machine and screw can mistakenly screw his hand, and that is going to be very, very painful, and is going to be very, very bad to experience that. So it is important that you know that some of these tools are not 100% safe. So you should be careful when sharing personal information with these AI tools. Don't share personal identifiable information, especially when they are not yours. Probably you are working in an organization that you deal with clients. Don't share your client information with AI. Hello, Mr. Abdul. Okay, Abdullah, how are you, Yaya? I'll please ask that you mute your mic. Thank you. So, don't share personal identifiable informations with AI because AI can be vulnerable, at some point. Last week, it was reported that one of the team member from Claude AI mistakenly leaked the source code to Claude AI. And last upper week, we also got reports, that there was a major data breach where Sterling Bank, Zenith Bank, even ABU Zaria and Remita and some other institutions in Nigeria were hacked. So if, for instance, some of these tools are hacked, those important informations can be leaked. So don't process sensitive information with AI, where you have a very sensitive company information. Don't put those kind of documents on AI and then start querying it, because if there is any vulnerability out there and those AI, gets hacked or something, it can, leak out those documents. Or AI can even, some of these tools use your prompts and your documents to train themselves. So they can use those informations, to train themselves, and that will be very, very bad. So please, it is very, very important that we note that. Now, specialized AI workhorses. Now, these are, very, very important tools that will help us work better. Now, gone are those days where you have to work hard. Now we are in the era where you have to work smart. It's no longer, working hard, but you have to work smart. And the best way to work smart is to use AI, to help you do a lot, of the heavy lifting, and then while you do more of the technical work and all of that. Now, most importantly, remember, AI is a tool. AI is not coming to replace you. AI is a tool, and when you know how to use it better, it makes you become a better person and helps you, become more productive. Now, looking at research, we have different tools that you can use to carry out research. We have Perplexity AI, which is a search engine. It's more like Google. Let's say it's another version of Google, but it's more advanced that it gives you sources. You can use that for academic research. Once you query Perplexity AI, it gives you um, accurate result, and then you attach the sources to those results for you and all of that. I'm going to talk more about it later on. And then we have the Notebook LM, which is developed by Google. It's called the Google Notebook LM. Very, very beautiful tool. I use that also a lot. Then coming to meetings, you are holding meetings. Sometimes it's very, very difficult for you to write down some of the notes from the meetings. Maybe you are a secretary of a team and you need to take notes. You need to concentrate in the meeting. You need to take notes. Sometimes your attention can be divided and all of that. But you can use AI tools to, take your meeting notes, and it can take your meeting notes, and it's very, very beautiful. We have Fireflies. I've used that in the past, but right now I'm using this TLDV. Very, very nice tool. It takes my meeting notes, and at the end of every meeting, I get a summary of, all that happened in the meeting. And it even goes, beyond to record the audio of the entire meeting. So if, for instance, there's a particular place where you need to remember exactly what was said, you can go back and play the audio and then forward it to that particular place, and then you can listen to it again. All right, that is something that doesn't happen without using some of these tools. If you are in a meeting and the meeting is over, you cannot go back and say, hey, please, what did you say? And all of that. But if you used your AI tools to record that particular meeting, you can always go back to it at a later time, look at the summary, listen to the audio again. And these platforms are very advanced that you can run queries and ask questions, and it can go through all your meeting notes and give you very, very, insightful answers to help you make decisions and all of that. Now, coming to another specialized AI, which is for dictation, there's this Whisperflow. Now, sometimes you want to type, or maybe you are on the go, you are walking on the road, or you are, just doing something, and you need to engage with one of these tools on your phone. You need to do something. You can just be saying it out, and then the AI is typing for you. On WhatsApp, sometimes we use voice note, to just communicate. But now you need to type, but you don't have the time to start typing. You can just be saying it, and then this AI tool will just type all you need to, type, and it's going to be very, very, the mistakes are very, very minimal. That's what I'm trying to say, guys. So the mistakes are very, very minimal, and it's very, very useful. So if you are this person, who likes to have something assist you, do some of this stuff. For research, you have them. For meetings, you have them. For dictation, you have Whisperflow, and a lot of them out there. You can always Google them. You get these tools and you try them out. Don't be afraid of using them. All right. Now, Perplexity AI. This is, a sample of how Perplexity AI is. It's a very, very AI friendly tool. just like I said, is a conversational search engine. It's more like Google, but it's a bit advanced. It gives you result and it gives you sources. It tells you where it got this particular response from. Now, except you customize your ChatGPT to always give you answers with sources, when you query your ChatGPT, it doesn't tell you where it got the answer from. So you are not even sure if ChatGPT got the answer from a very reliable source or not. But with Perplexity AI, you get to even verify this information yourself. If you don't trust the AI, you can click on the link on the cited link and then go to verify if the information is accurate or not. And you even get to see if the information you got was from a more recent source, most especially if you are carrying out academic research. In academic research, your claims or your citations has to be very, very recent. So this is a very, very helpful tool. Now to another very, very powerful and useful tool, which is the Google Notebook LM. I use this a lot while preparing for this session. I even use this Notebook LM to help prepare for this session. Now, this is an AI-powered research and note-taking assistant. Emphasis on assistant. It doesn't do the job for you, but it helps you do the job. Now, you can use it, it's designed to analyze, to summarize, and to query specific documents. So now, unlike ChatGPT, Gemini, and Claude, where you don't even know where your answers are coming from, on Notebook LM, it gives you the power to design your own ChatGPT. Let me put it that way. It gives you the power to design your own AI, such that you can come to this left panel here where you see sources, and then you see add sources. So you can add maybe YouTube videos, you can add documents, you can add different type of file, you can link your Google Drive. And then when you come here to this chat and you are asking questions, whatever query you run, the answer is going to be based on all the sources you have added here. So let me give you one insight. Now, let's take, for instance, you are preparing for an exams. You can, pick your lecture notes that was shared with you and then add it as a source here. And then you can begin to ask questions. And all the questions you are asking, the answers are going to come from the lecture notes that you have added as a source. It's not going to give you any answer outside that lecture note. You understand? So especially for courses where you are studying, and it has to be those kind of lecturers where what they give in their notes, add notes here and begin to query. It helps you prepare. Even workplaces, you can add documents and you can begin to query them. Now, one thing I did is, in cybersecurity or in information security, we have a lot of laws and frameworks and all of that. Now in Nigeria, we have the NDPA, which is the National Data Protection Act 2023. We have the GDPR, which is EU. We have the Cyber Crime Act and all of them. So one thing I did was to bring all of these acts and then I created a notebook with it. All right, and then added them as. So if I'm trying to find out a particular law, related to AI, or a particular issue in one of these laws, all I just need to do is to come and ask, blah 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 blah. How does this particular affect this, or how does this relate? All of that, and all my answers are going to be based on those sources that I have added. You can add a YouTube video, no matter how long it is, and you can begin to ask questions from that YouTube video, and it's going to give you. This is a very, very powerful tool, guys. So I want to encourage you guys to explore it and learn how to use it. Now, on this right side, you can see a lot of features here. You have the audio overview. So, in instance, you add your lecture notes or maybe a particular file you are trying to maybe digest. You can convert it into audio and you listen to it. You can convert it into a video. You can do your mind mapping here. You can generate reports, and all of that infographics. It will convert your document into infographics and it will help you to understand it better and all of that. So I want to encourage you guys, to explore it and learn how to use it better. Now, moving forward, visualization innovation. Now, just like I mentioned earlier, when you visualize things, it helps you to understand them better. It helps you to see them in real life, see them in action, and helps you to make better decisions. Now, for visualization, Midjourney is one of the tools that that came out, and one of the early tools for visualization, and is very, very powerful. You can use it to create cinematic, high fidelity images, high quality images that we give you very, very nice images, and you can add these images to your report. If you are asked to create, to prepare a report at work, and you need to add images to make your report come to life, you can use some of these tools to create images to help present your work in a very, very nice way, and that is going to boost your confidence even when you are making your presentation. When you know that your slide is looking very, very nice, that is going to help boost your presentation and even help boost your ability, because your boss are going to trust your work. When they see that your slide is looking very, very nice, trust me, nobody wants to look down on you when your slide is looking very nice, guys. So it goes a long way to help you achieve your work and make you very, very productive. Nano Banana model by Gemini is also a very, very cool tool, and it's very good for rendering text. And also Grok AI by X, formerly Twitter, is very, very also very, very wonderful tool. You can also explore that at any time. Even ChatGPT also is very, very nice also. Now, let me introduce you guys to a very simple workflow. It's called the core workflow. Now, this workflow is going to help you boost your productivity. Now, it's very simple. Capture, which is, when you have ideas in your head, when you have, tasks in your head or whatsoever, the first thing you need to do is write them down, capture them somewhere. That is why I was emphasizing that you can use some of this project management tool or task management tool for your personal work. I use Google Keep a lot. Like, it's one tool that I have handy. All right. Whenever you are thinking of something or whenever you're trying to process something, write it down. That's number one. Number two is assign due date or tags. Now, on Google Keep, you can always tag a particular note or take it to your calendar, put it there, and then add a tag and add a due date. All right. Let's say, for instance, you need to send an email to your boss. You can write it down, put the time, and even calendar will remind you when it's time for that task. So it means you don't need to keep it in your head to start remembering that you need to do this, you need to do this, because your calendar is going to remind you when it's time. Now, when you do that, you review, go through the tasks you have written down, and then review them maybe by order of priority. All right, and then begin to engage, which is execute the job. Now, first, you've written them down. Secondly, you've organized them. Thirdly, you review them, look at, okay, what is more important? What should I do now? What should I delegate? What should I leave for later? What should I discard? And then you begin to work on them. This is also a more like a prioritization technique or a prioritization workflow. If you use this workflow a lot, it will help you prioritize your task and help you achieve a lot. This is also going to help boost your productivity. I'm hoping that you guys will begin to, use this workflow, capture your ideas, capture your task, organize them, review them before you begin to work on them. Remember, your brain is not a storage device. That is where we get it wrongly. Our brain is not a storage device. Our brain is like the RAM of a computer, which is a random access memory. And it only holds information for 20 minutes. The lifespan of an information in your short-term memory is 20 minutes, except if the information moves to your long-term memory. That's when you have it for a long time. But your attention, your memory span is just 20 minutes. So that is why you can think of something now, or you are told something, and then in the next 1 hour you have forgotten. It's because it was in your short-term memory. You were trying to keep it in your head. You were trying to memorize it. But when you write it down, you can always come back to it. It's, automatically just moves into your permanent memory. So instead of keeping them in your short time memory, in your short memory span, where it's just 20 minutes, why not write them down so that you don't get to forget? Because just like on your computer, when your RAM is clogged with a lot of tasks, your computer is going to become slow. That is how our brain is going to also be. When you have a lot of things running in your head, your brain is going to process things slowly. So you are not supposed to overload your brain with a lot of information that you should be writing down. So when you write these informations down and your head is not overloaded with all of this information, it helps you think better, it helps you do a lot, and that is also going to boost your productivity. Yeah. Thank you very much, Nzasi. Using Google Assistant helps you, automatically add your tasks to your calendar. Just like on my phone, I can just say, okay, Google, and then it pops up this Google Go Assistant. And then I'll say, yeah, please, I need to do this, I need to do that. Can you please just remind me by tomorrow morning? And you say, okay, thank you. I'm going to remind you by tomorrow morning. I've done that a lot. I currently have a task where I've asked my Google Calendar to remind me, to do something on Monday morning. And by Monday morning, 8 a.m., I'm going to get that prompt that, yeah, I'm reminding you to do this. I'm reminding you to do that. So these are very, very wonderful tools. And we have it, in our hands, in our pockets. It's not something that you have to pay for. It's not something that you have to go far to go and, not something that you have to dig deep and then struggle to learn. Is something that we all have it very, very handy. So please, guys, learn how to use these things, and it's going to boost your productivity. Now, quickly, I need you guys to do one thing for me. What is one activity that you want to do? Maybe there's something you want to do, there's an assignment you need to do. Quickly, if you can minimize or maybe just write it down. I just need you to do that in 1 minute. Write it down. Maybe in your calendar, add it to your calendar, add it to your note taker on your phone, either the default one that comes with the phone, or if you have Google Keeps, or if you have if Samsung comes with theirs also, and all of that. If you have that, quickly write it down. What is one task that you need to do after this masterclass and that you might forget? Just write it down. It can be, work related, or it can be school related, or anything. Just write it down. The goal is to clear your mental RAM. I just explained that our brain is like a RAM. It doesn't hold information for long. So the aim at every point is to ensure that your RAM is cleared so that it helps you process things better. The more space you have in your RAM, the more you have, space to process a lot of items. Thank you, guys. I hope that you've done that. Now, curiosity is your new currency. You have to be curious. You have datas in your phone. What do you do with them? You have YouTube very, 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 very close to you. What do you use YouTube for? You need to learn. You need to be very, very curious. You need to stay updated with industry trends. Now, when you go to LinkedIn, join communities on LinkedIn, join communities on WhatsApp, join communities on Reddit, and on any social media platform you find yourself. You have to keep yourself updated, because a lot of times there are updates, there are news from the various industries that we work in and all of that, and you can miss those updates. So it is important that you are curious and you keep yourself up to date. You need to always seek to learn. You need to always seek to learn. Now, the half-life of our skills is now in months. It's no longer measured in years. The half-life of our skills. Just like I mentioned at the beginning, some of the skills that is being needed today, we didn't have those skills in demand 5 years ago. 5 years ago, today I work as a digital innovation and research associate. Now, 5 years ago, I didn't know about anything called digital innovation and research. I didn't even know about it. All right. These are some of the things that were not in existence years ago. 10 years ago, we didn't know about some of these roles we have, like the AI engineers, prompt engineers, DevOps, and all of that. Some of these roles were not in existence. Some of these skills were not even needed 5 years ago, 10 years ago. But today, those skills are needed. Some of these skills that you have in the past today are not even being spoken about. So it is important that you seek to improve. You seek to improve. For people who are into UI UX, I've been in UI UX for about 6 years now. And if there is anything I know about UI UX is, especially for people who use Figma, Figma release updates every 2 weeks. Now, imagine that there's an update every 2 weeks and you have missed out, following their update for the past 6 months. Do you know how many weeks you have missed out? Do you know the volume of information that you'll be missing? Imagine that you are not keeping up to industry trends, you are not following the news, you are not doing anything for 6 months, and they are releasing updates every 2 weeks. Then imagine, it means in 6 months, you probably don't even know half of what is even required. So it is important that you keep yourself up to date. Now, one very important platform you can use is IBM Skills. IBM Skills have a lot of free courses. Go on IBM Skills. LinkedIn Learning also have free courses. Go on LinkedIn Learning, take courses, there are several platforms where you can get free courses to boost yourself, to boost your capacity, to boost your productivity. Take short courses. There are courses that are available for 30 minutes, 1 hour, 3 hours. Some you can complete them in a day. Some you just need a few days, maximum a week to complete them. And it's going to help you stay up to date. It's going to help you acquire some of the skills that are needed in the workplace today. So I want to encourage you guys to learn. Please and please learn. Don't be comfortable with the information you have today. Don't be comfortable with the status quo. You need to improve. You need to move further. You need to learn, to adopt all the skills that you can, especially in the career paths you are pursuing today, because that is going to set you apart. If you go before an employer, with another person who you are hoping to get hired, and you have, carried out 10 courses, for instance, in project management, you are interviewing for a project management role, and you have carried out 10 courses in project management, and the other person probably just have 3 or 4, have probably undergone 3 or 4 courses in project management. Who do you think the employer is going to pick? You, obviously, because the employer is going to pick you because you have more experience, you have undergone more training than the other person. Can we get such platform? All right, I'll try and share some of these platforms with you through Mr. Ajibola, and you can also reach out to me, and then I'm going to share some of these platforms with you. Thank you very much, Hakilu, Ibrahim. All right, so please, as much as possible, let's try to learn. YouTube is one great place where anything you are looking for, you are going to find. You are going to find anything you are looking for. The only downside is you don't get a certificate after the course, or after the training on YouTube. But YouTube is a very, very nice place where you can learn a lot. The best you can do when you learn from YouTube is to carry out projects. If you are a project manager and you learn on YouTube, what you should do is, carry out projects on your own, reach out to startups and volunteer to do jobs for them for free, just to boost your portfolio. People can recommend you for bigger opportunities. All right, probably you are a project manager, you can volunteer to be a project manager for that person in exchange for a letter of recommendation. So imagine you are going to another employer and you are carrying a letter of recommendation that says that you have done this, you have done that, you have done that, and you know how to do this, you know how to do that. Do you know that that person is going to trust you because somebody else who you have worked with is recommending you? So it's very, very that you please, learn, and you have evidence of your learning. Evidence of your learning can come in form of certificates, can come in form of portfolios, can come in form of projects. So that is very, very important. Now, I want to encourage you guys. You can connect with me on LinkedIn. This is my name, Abel Dayo Ishaomi. You can find me on LinkedIn, and we can continue this conversation. On LinkedIn, you can ask me about some of these courses. I can refer you to some of these platforms. I can also refer some of these tools. I just mentioned a very, very few of them today. I can recommend tools for you that you can use, help you scrutinize some, and recommend the ones that you can use for particular tasks, whatever you need to. So feel free to connect with me over LinkedIn, and we can take that discussion over from there. On a final note, I want to emphasize that our brains are for having ideas, not holding them. Our brains are for having ideas and not holding them. Don't hold ideas on your head. When you have an idea, write it down. Very, very important. Write it down. I used to downplay the power of writing until I fell a victim. So I'm encouraging you guys, write it down. So when you have a task, at your workplace or whatsoever, do well to write them down and process it, because it's going to help you to process things better, instead of just thinking, yeah, you need to do this, I need to do that, you need to do this, you need to do that. Just write them down, organize it, and then execute. Remember the core workflow: capture, organize, review, and execute. So guys, I want to leave you with this, and I want to say it one more time. Our brain are for having ideas and not for holding them. Thank you very much, guys. I hope we all enjoy this session. I look forward to hearing from us, and I'm sure some of us have questions. I'm going to entertain them. Thank you very much. I'm going to stop sharing now. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dayo. Sincerely, that was a very beautiful one. And I believe, just like I've mentioned from the start of the session, that it's a must attend session for not only but for the leaders or for the CEOs. It's something that even you as a worker, you must have knowledge of digital skills. You can make use of to make your work better and also be excellent in your doing. So thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for that wonderful session. So it's time for
Thank you, sir.
question. It's time for question. However, I want you to know that we have just few minutes to the end of this session. So please, if you have a question, you have to make it question direct. Then at the same time, yeah, so you have to be direct with your question and at the same time trying to consider the time. So please, your question, please. You can raise up your hand so I can allow you to speak. Hello. Okay, Eddie Dion, please carry on. Eddie Dion, please carry on. You can ask your question. Please unmute and ask your question.
Good evening, everyone.
Good
Yeah, good
evening.
evening, Edidion.
Thank you, sir, for that eye-opening session. I'm happy I didn't miss it. My question goes this way. For someone that is trying to be at pace with how fast the world is advancing, like you said in the session that we were in the area of remote work. So I actually acquired a remote skill, that's virtual assistant. So now I think what is in trend is anything related to AI. So will it be okay if I transition into AI, or will I be a jack of all trades that is confused about life?
All right. Thank you very much for that question. Now, let me share a personal experience. I used to be this guy that had a lot of skill at some point until I decided to narrow down. So I will advise that when you are starting out, learn all you can. Explore as much as possible, and then you can begin to narrow down. Now, for someone who is going into or is into virtual assisting, one very, very key tool that you will not you see there is no how you will work without it is AI. All right. And if you know how to use AI very well, I assure you that you will cut down the time you spend in doing your work by at least 50%. All right. So it's not a misplaced priority if you learn AI skills, because that is going to help you to achieve a lot. So I want to encourage you as much as possible. Don't look back, just learn. All right. As long as it's going to help you achieve your goal, help you achieve, to advance in your career path, learn it. As long as it's going to help you do that. So AI is going to help you do that, and don't look back. Just continue learning. I
All
hope
right.
I've been able to answer your question.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
All right. So thank you
You're
very
welcome.
much. Before we're going to end the session, I want Akilu to ask his question. Akilu will be the last person to ask a question in this session. So today's session was long and worth it. Yeah. Akilu, please unmute yourself and ask your question.
Hakilu, you can please unmute and ask your question.
So good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Let me start by commending this wonderful and exceptional lectures. It is indeed
Thank you, sir.
captivating. So, sir, you have talked about remote work. For we that don't have an insight on it, I need you to shed more light on how can a person get access to it. That's my question, sir.
All right. Thank you for that. Now, remote work is something that everybody can have access to. Now, you just need to identify in your career path, identify what can you do that can be done remotely. All right. There are several things that you can do that can be done remotely. See, I assure you, even as a civil engineer, there is something you can do that can be done remotely. You don't have to be at the site. So identify that first of all. Even as a civil engineer, let me use that. As a civil engineer, you are expected to be on site, to supervise or carry out your daily activities and all of that. I believe that there is something that can be done remotely, that you don't need to be there. So identify those things and then look at what skill do you need, to amplify that particular ability. Now, we had a session on capacity development, and I'm sure we learned how to, carry out the tests. We had that test from 1, 2, 3 test. I'm not sure what the name was the name of the site again. We did that test, and all of that. So you need to identify what are these skills that you need to boost that particular capacity, the things that you can do remotely. And you just need to put yourself out there, advertise yourself. So just like I said, one of the things you can, or some of the things you can do is get certificates, or make sure that you build your portfolio or build free projects, something that you can show that I can do this. So if you're a civil engineer and you can supervise projects remotely, you can be in your house and you can supervise projects at sites. All you just need to do is show evidence that you can do that excellently. And I'm sure you'll be able to get a remote job with that. All right. So I don't know if I've been able to answer your questions, but I want to encourage us all. You can reach out to me even after now if you have questions, and I'll gladly answer them. Thank you very much for this opportunity once again, and have a good evening.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dayo, and thank you so much. Thank you far beyond even you being our facilitator. Thank you for being one of the people that have held this program together. That even helped us to reach this stage. So thank you so much. Really appreciate your efforts. Okay, someone is asking for your email. I don't know, maybe you want to provide that, sir, in the chat box. Okay, thank you very much, sir. So now the post-test link has been dropped in the chat box as well. Please do well to fill the post test. And for those of you who are here to enroll on Core 2, please do that now. Enroll on Core 2 so you have access to recordings of past classes. This particular class will also be uploaded on the Core 2 platform, so you will be able to access it even after the program. That's true. Then in theory, this is to also let you know that next week is going to be not so tedious, but it's going to be tedious in a way that we'll be having some classes on some places that in some times that we do not normally have it. Let's say, for example, on Wednesdays and on Friday. Okay, we have it on Fridays usually, but we're going to have it on Wednesdays, Friday, and then another one on Saturday. The reason being that we're almost getting to the last week of our program, and you need to understand that some of the mentorship sessions have been missed. So we have to cover up so you will not miss out on any of the idea that could have liberated the mind towards greatness. So our goal is to make sure that at the end of this program or after this program, you become builders, you become leaders, you become the one that influence positive change in your community, in your in your career. We want a scenario whereby our people become influencers of great moments. So that's what we look forward to. And I want you to please continue to um, remain curious, just like Mr. Dyer has mentioned, remain curious because these mentors we are bringing on board in few weeks to come. They are individuals that have achieved a whole lot of great things in their career. Even our executive director will be part of them definitely. And I still know quite well some people from Tesla as well that will be mixing up experience with professionalism, and definitely you will get the worth of your time. So that I want you to put in mind. Then leadership conference is here. Yes, that moment is here. Our leadership conference is here. I expect that you people will show a kind of excitement because the leadership conference is about you. It's about celebrating you. It's about acknowledging your commitments, celebrating your daily show up. So I still expect that I'll be seeing reactions going up and down because it's about you. Or is it that I've been speaking to myself a lot since? Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Now I can confirm I've not been talking to myself. Hello. All right. Thank you, Didan. Thank you, Shukrat. So the leadership conference is here, and a whole lot of things is expected of you. Yes, a whole lot of things is expected of you because this is your program. So what I'll be doing this evening is I will be creating a group, a publicity group. I'll share the link on your platform. So you share it across on your status, you share it with your communities. We need more people to join us in making the publicity go wider. We want a lot of people to get access to the program. So the leadership conference is about you. Even though we're yet to like release the exact date, but we're going to like create a publicity team. So I'll share the link with you all. You share it to your community. So we have many people on board for the leadership conference. So the last information I want to share with you is for those of you that are not following us, no, please go and follow us on Instagram. Remember that our last Instagram account was disabled when we were just about to start this program. And since then, we've been pushing and doing a whole lot to make sure we get our Instagram figures back. Please, if you are here to follow us on Instagram, please go do well and follow us on Instagram. You can also do well to follow us on LinkedIn. Follow us on LinkedIn because that's where you definitely be getting first-hand information as regard the leadership conference. So thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. For the next coming sessions, please, I don't want us to be going back to our chat to be saying join class, join class. I want us to see it as the norms because by now we have gotten to the stage that it is part of us. It is part of us. And this stage is a very critical stage for us because this is when we are making final decision on the leadership conference. This is when one wants to think of the best cohort or best fellow. This is when one wants to look at the most dedicated fellow. This is when one wants to consider, think of, look at your punctuality, look at your attentiveness. So this is not the right time for you to toy with this opportunity. So please, for God's sake, make yourself available for the remaining sessions. Thank you so much, everyone. So fill in the posters because it will serve as attendance. I will share the names of the people on the attendance now. So I don't want scenarios that you'll be like, okay, my name is not showing or something. So thank you, and thank you to our partners. Thank you to Kootsu. Thank you to Mr. Adaya from Tesla. Thank you, Mr. Anzas from Tesla. Thank you so much. We really appreciate your effort. And we must say that this has been a great this has been a very okay. Someone is asking if the leadership conference is virtual or physical. And just like I mentioned in the last class, it's going to be a physical event. But if you are in Bauchi State, thank God you'll be able to attend physically. But if you'll be from other states, you will join us virtually. However, joining us virtually does not mean you're not getting your prize. Does not mean, let's say, for example, you are the best fellow, doesn't stop you from getting your prize, doesn't stop you from getting your recognition. So definitely you still get your recognition. So that is that. And is there any other question? If there is no any other question, I think we can call it a day. Do you have any other question for call it a day, please? Okay. Seems like we have no other question. All right, thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you in the next session, which is next week. We've had our mentorship session on Thursday. So tomorrow is your day, tomorrow is your free day. Please have a good weekend. Enjoy yourself and don't forget to resume again next week. Thank you all.